It is time. Living Loud with Andy, kicking it with Andy, all aboard the night train, and hello from the Pacific Northwest.
The Pacific Northwest.
Absolutely. Thank you, El Fuego. Appreciate you starting the train off. It's Kicking It with Andy, and we're going to be talking about batteries and chargers. A little bit of allergic reaction, allergies. You got to love it. But I am ready for the show. We're going to talk about it. We're going to dive deep into chargers, and do you even need them? We're going to find out. Let's kick off this intro. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Talk about Kicker, your system, batteries, charging. How important is it? We're going to talk about it. Thank you again, El Fuego. I appreciate you. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Is this thing on?
Livin Loud with Andy.
Yeah, buddy, here we go. We are back, kicking it with Andy. It's been a month. Happy July, everyone. Man, we're almost in August. Summer is almost over. But I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. And, of course, we're going to do our housekeeping. About 10-15 minutes in, we'll walk over there. We'll do some testing. I discharged a lot of batteries so we can test each kind with different chargers. It's going to be fun, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And, again, El Fuego, thank you so much for just being here and always supporting and getting the show off right.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor?
Thank you, El Fuego. I appreciate you so much. And Got Loud, thank you for tuning in again. Hope you guys are doing well. And Cornut, of course, Cornut's here. We got Brett, Livin Loud. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. As always, you guys are awesome. Eric, Kyle, Goddard, Uncle Bobby B. We got to roll the clip. He'll get mad at me if I don't.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. I hope you and the family are doing well, sir. All right, cool. Let's see. We got Jason Grant. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Man, you know, shoot. This summer has been fun. I missed you guys. And, you know, a couple weeks off. We were back Friday, and here we are back doing it again, kicking it with Andy. And, of course, we got the giveaway, the Bullfrog 100, and everything else below it. I know you guys want the Bullfrog. And, of course, the 50% off discount code. Thank you guys for, you know, just tuning in, making this happen. And that's why Kicker does this for you guys and this channel as well. Thank you so much for just tuning in. That is it. What's going on, Jason WW2000? Appreciate you for hanging out. Jay Shipes. What's going on, man? You know, you guys are awesome. Whenever you do these shows, you get a little nervous, and then you have an allergy attack, and you're like, man, I got this. I got this, though, because these guys are awesome. They understand. Man, that's why we got the Kicker Kleenex box back there. I mean, you know, it's a given. It really is a given. I love it. Thank you for tuning in, Dave. Appreciate you, man.
Just hit the like.
Just hit the like. Just hit the like. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. Hope you and everyone else is doing well up in the north. Not too Pacific, but, you know, up in the north. Thanks for tuning in and being here. You guys are awesome. OG right there. Larry Keller, thank you for hanging out as well. Appreciate all you guys. I think I got everything up here on YouTube. Yes, we're looking good. We got 12 likes, 20 people tuned in on YouTube. You guys are awesome. I was trying to do a few other things with Kicker Club, and I don't know if it worked or not. We'll see. I'll find out after the show. But either way, got it pulled up over here. Redid it just so that Kicker Club is getting the content as well. Appreciate you, man. Randy B. Hill, thank you for hanging out. Livin Loud for a lifetime with Kicker, and you, Andy. I appreciate that, man. It means truly a lot. Thank you, Randy. Thank you. And you know what? That's what we do. We stay living loud. Joe Keenan, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. You know, man, some of these guys, that's the best thing about Slam is you get to meet them in person. You look at the logo. I mean, that's a good logo you got there, but I like your face too, man. And awesome to meet you. Thanks for hanging out tonight. And you know, with battery, sorry, my eyes are watering. Literally allergy attack as soon as I came in here. Let's get a zoom in here. But still, just wanting to talk about different battery chargers and just, you know, I get the question a lot, which one is not right for me, but, you know, do I even need to do that? And specifically with, like, lithium, LTO, lithium iron phosphate, NCM, nickel magnesium, call it whatever. You know, just every type of lithium, sodium, you name it. So we're going to talk about the different types of chargers there are and what works better with what. And maybe you don't need the crazy fancy one. You might need something simple depending what you got. But, you know, well, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all of it. Cornut, still part of the green team for 9 months. Congratulations, Cornut. Thanks for tuning in and always being here. Great pal. And, man, this guy was out fighting fires out in the Pacific Northwest. And he couldn't make 2 of the shows. So it's understandable. Thank you, Cornut, for doing your services. Thank you for tuning in and being here. My hay fever. Hopefully it's not that. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to get into it. We got 24 people, 25, they're starting to roll in. I guess what I can do is transition over there, and we can just look at it together over there, everything that I have on display, and what we're going to be talking about. I should be able to do everything I need to do. I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since we did Kicking It with Andy, but still, this is the best thing about the studio. It's ready to go full tilt boogie for something like this. All right, now bear with me here. I'm going to switch over. For those that have been tuned into the show for a long time, you know my switchover got a little bit faster here. All right, cool. There we go. We're good. Now, do I sound too hot or are we okay? man, definitely got hit right before the show. You know, it's like I've been up here since, man, 5 o'clock, ate some dinner. Let's go over this way. All right, cool. We got that. Now, what we're going to do is take a look at what we got. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. And I also have to, hold on, I need to come over here and make sure this is clicked. So when I do my little fancy thing, all right, I hope you guys took your nausea medicine. We're going to be spinning around a lot tonight. Okay, cool. When they selling the amps on kicker.com, I'm not sure. I know they always take care of, sorry, my eyes are just watering. Allergies, man, big time. They take care of their dealers first and, you know, all their, you know, authorized kicker sellers. And then once their pockets are full, they will take care of the .com. That's pretty much their, I guess you would call that, not overload, just everything extra, you know? And I'm sure they do that ahead of time regardless, but it will be on there. I know your local kicker dealers are selling them if they got them in stock. If, you know, they put the order in to get them, they will have them. And if you want to support the channel, Showtime Electronics got them. Got the 1000.4 and the 3600.1, which is just awesome that they're doing that already. It's really cool. Thank you, Simon. I use the PowerMax 100 amp and the TDK 125 amp and DC power supply in my audio room. And that's exactly what we have over here is the PowerMax 100. I got links in the description on YouTube here of each one of these. This is the PowerMax 100. Does not come with a kicker sticker, but you can add that. And the voltmeter, sorry, it's on its last leg, and it gives me an idea just to tell what's going on voltage wise rather than being blind. And that's kind of what I want to get at with all these chargers here. Man, I am steaming up, eyes watering. Kids were next door. Bryson's room's right over here. It's just jumping around, dust flying everywhere. And I come back and here, I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm dying. But I'm here. I'm happy. You know, and this is my kind of thing. This is what I do in the studio is I come up here and I'm testing batteries. I'm doing amplifiers and, you know, to get a good grasp on what I'm working with each one. And some of these are older than others. Like this one right here, I've had for, man, this one is probably 5 years old, 6 years old. And I have the link in there too, but it's totally different because it's just a brand new thing. You can get them at Walmart, Amazon, whatever. But each one kind of looks different. Like one has voltmeter current, one shows volt and just big buttons, the other one shows nothing. So which one do you need? Which one can you get? And the PowerMax 100 is actually what I use for the amp dyno down here. Where's my little remote? We can't lose that. That is my buddy. It's a little bit of a mess under here, but when isn't it? I have two of the PowerMaxes down there. This is my third one for whenever I test a Warhorse when that day comes. And, you know, just 100 amps each. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but the problem may still lie is, man, how do you use the thing? You know, that one is a little bit more complicated for the new user of any kind of charger, you know, and I'm trying to not get ahead of myself here. Allergies, man, it just threw me off of my whole plan with this. But do you need a charger? Is it necessary? Depends. It honestly depends what type of batteries you have. And man, sometimes, you know, you might think about it like this, that your alternator can charge the batteries. And I know that is a big myth where a lot of people think, oh, an alternator can charge a battery or it can't charge the battery. And that depends on the type of battery you're using. And over here, I got 3 different types. I mean, we got 4 different types, but I had to use it for the backup power supply for some reason. 5 series LTO. But anywho, we're not getting there. This is the XSD 3400. This is the one that everybody has under their hood. And, you know, not exactly, but you know, a lot of my cars take this 2 out of 4. So it's a very common battery, AGM style, and these can range anywhere from like 12.8 to 13.3 volts, give or take. This is what you're going to see in most applications that are, you know, not lithium, the normal base head. Now, the next one over here is the JY NXTs. These are awesome. These are, man, ELD something, I don't know. It's a hybrid. It's like dual wrapped and hybrid capacitor, just a little bit different. But those voltage ranges are anywhere from, what was it, 8 to 16? Yep, 18 to 16.8. That's a wide range. So how do you charge that with your car? Well, we're going to talk about it. And then the last one over here we have is the sodium battery. This is the Salt, JY Salt 20. And this is almost the same thing as, you know, the other sodiums that you see on the market with limitless lithium and the sort. All right, cool. Appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out. Let's see, let's check the comments. Oh, of course. I was wondering where Bubba was. You know, I was about to log in on the Rust server. I'm going to break just so I can hang out with Bubba. I miss you, Bubba. Hope you guys are doing well in the gang. Talking to Bobby B. Thanks for tuning in, man. Hosea, thank you for hanging out again with us, man. You are awesome. Appreciate you. Edwin Sparks, run the like up, family. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Sparks. Sparked Innovations. Go take a look at them. Appreciate you, man. I know this is up his alley too, because he's all with just electronic switches and just, you know, everything that Sparked Innovations is. You know, so this is definitely up his alley. Same. I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff, and I hope you guys can maybe take something away from this after we do this demonstration with everything. And as soon as my allergies clear up, we're going to get going, because I am still... I'm crying. I'm crying. Thanks for tuning in, Glenn. Appreciate you. Let me know if I'm too loud. If I'm not too loud, just let me know. Watching the dining room while eating dinner. You know, thank you, man. And that's why we stream at 1080, so you can at least see me on your 60-inch plus. Thank you, Bubba. I appreciate you. Everyone saying hello. See, I was a little head on the, you know, just saying hello to everyone. Taking a look at it. Jimmy, that charger should tell you what type of chemistry it's rated for. We got a question already. Where's John at? I need John at. I need John. Let's see. Good question, Jimmy. Sorry, man. My camera's just wonking around on me here. Jimmy, would an RC lithium iron polymer charger work? They usually charge LiPo, life cell type batteries. And I mean, you can use any charger, quote. But the problem is where it relies on each type of chemistry you're using. If it's either AGM, lithium iron phosphate, sodium, nickel, I don't know, just the NCM lithium ions of, you know, the, what is it, the CMAX and then the SPIMs. They got a bunch. Where are you going, Ernie? Over here. Come on. Over here. I'm thinking this thing's following me. It's not following me. There we go. We're good. I think we're good. We'll see if it... I don't know. Anywho, but with that type of charger, could that work? Eh, I wouldn't suggest it, because that's almost like running something like this. I have this over here. Let's see if we can zoom this over here. I'm sorry, guys. Man, I'm underwater here. Allergies. I'm like trying to stare at the camera. I'm having a hard time. My eyes are just flooded. Now, this right here is pretty cool. This isn't your LiPo charger, but I'm pretty sure lithium polymer is around the same voltage as lithium just ion. I mean, it's a lithium ion, but NCM and just, you know, the 3.7 nominal cells, which you see in like your vape batteries or the CMAX and stuff like that. It's like higher voltage per cell, or even sodium. Sodium's pretty close. It's like 3, but either way, this is adjustable. When you use one of those chargers that you're talking about, that's not really adjustable, and it would have to be the perfect voltage range. And then even then, that's where I want to get into this, is can you use any charger? Sure, but with the AGMs over here, sorry, I'm just all over the place tonight. With the AGMs over here, I'm gonna pull that down so you can take a look at it. This type of chemistry wants to be charged. It wants to be charged all the time. Do you ever hear the story, you know, one, you don't leave your battery on the asphalt, but two, over the winter, you keep it on the charger. Well, there's a reason. That's because the type of battery this is, the AGM, anything wet cell lead acid, it just will tend to degrade a little bit differently than a, you know, lithium ion battery or sodium ion battery. And these don't want to be fully charged all the time. When you actually fully charge one of these all the time, you keep this thing at 16 volts or either this 16 volts the whole time, you will actually have shorter cycle lives. Now with the AGM, it's a little bit different. It does want to be charged fully all the time. And whenever it doesn't, that's when you can actually hurt the cell. So it depends the type of battery you're using and what kind of, you know, do I use one of these chargers or do I want one of these that will just kind of take care of it over time? That's the difference with that, because this is an automatic charger, but for AGM and lead acid only. So this is perfect for the excess power, 3400, 3100, 4800, whatever AGM you got. Now, not talking about the Titan 8 series or anything like that, or the, what's the other one? The Max 90 Max. That's not for that. That's entirely different there. But back to that, you know, this does work and can technically charge any chemistry, but the problem lies into the fact of, is it going to charge it the full way? How are you running those LTO or lithium iron phosphates batteries? Like this, I use this on lithium iron phosphate because it actually works very well with that voltage range. And that's why people love to make batteries, JY, you know, just everybody with lithium iron phosphate, because it is pretty close to the AGM wet cell voltage range for the 12 volt industry. Well, really 13. We want 13 at least. 12 volts is kind of, nah, we don't need that. That's wasted voltage right there. All right, let's see. All right, Dave, I appreciate you tuning in, man. You're probably gone by now. Good night, sir. Thank you for hanging out and always being here, man. Overstock, that's the word. Thank you. Sorry, I'm like, you know, misfiring at the starting line here, but I'm okay. I'm starting to catch up. The show must go on. I'm trying. Let's see. I wish the Power Max 100 didn't cost so much. And actually, I have a link in the description. These are on sale a lot now. And for $169, the Power Max 100. And what this is going to be able to do, since I can use it for my amp dyno, this guy right here, you can set it at any voltage. But then the difference is, it's not as easy as this one. This one's got a nice digital readout. It shows you the amount of current, the wattage, well, the voltage too. This one does not show you anything. On the side of it, there are two little dials, you know, one for just 13.8 to 16 volts or whatever, you know. And on the back here, it does have three-phase charging, three-stage charging. So you could use that as well, like this here, for AGMs over the winter, and it would just keep it topped off. So that does do that, or straight power. So this one has a lot of flexibility, and so does this one. This one doesn't. This one is just kind of meant for your everydayer. These are adjustable. This one is straight, just here you go. How much power do you want? How much current you want? At what voltage? That's what this does. This has a little bit more into it with the three-stage charging, but honestly, these two are almost interchangeable. But I like this one better, and I'm going to tell you why. I just do. You know, with power, like, yes, the Power Max 100 is the best bang for your buck, the most you can get out of your wall, and sure, power-wise, absolutely. But this one here is a little bit nicer, so whenever you do run, I'm going to actually zoom in on this here, and I'm going to save this shot because I need this shot right there. Plus, we can get the giveaway there. You can look at it, and we'll go number 2 right there. Cool. All right. Let's see, where was I? Glenn, thanks for tuning in, Glenn. Yeah, it does several different chemistries, you know, and that's, it all comes down to pretty much the voltage range of the cells and the type of chemistry, as in, do they like to be charged? Why it's a big difference is if you eliminated the lithium iron, the AGM or wet cells, the traditional 12 volt. If you eliminated these guys right there, sorry, the wrapping is old. I've had that battery for like 6 years and it's still kicking. But what I'm trying to say is, now I'm losing train of thought. God, this I'm losing it tonight. There's so much to unpack with this. What I was trying to say was, with those, they need topped off all the time. These other cells don't. But if you want to get all the capacity out of them, then you have to charge them all the way up. So does your car do that? Yes and no. And I love this with car audio because it's always a yes and no with a lot of things. There is no for certain with this stuff. And the more you learn about it, the more you see that, yeah, that makes sense why there isn't. Because it does depend whatever your situation is. Run the likes up. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Sarah, Mr. Dusty, almost did it. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I think Andy's going to cover the different voltages. Yes, I'm actually going to, we can stress test them, which I already did. But what we're going to do is show the differences of how each charger kind of works. And I kind of went over that, but we're going to demonstrate it as well. I wanted to get some kind of just, you know, explanation of the different chemistries, the different chargers, kind of what they do. And I was starting to lead into, do you need one? Will the alternator do it? And to put it simply, if you're running AGM, lead acid, your normal car battery, or even lithium iron phosphate, 9 chances out of 10, your alternator is going to be able to charge your system enough to top off the batteries. Now, if you're like me and you're bumping down the street till you get home, your batteries are never going to be charged because your alternator is never going to have enough time to fully top off those batteries. Because the closer you get to the actual voltage of the charge set of the alternator, the longer it takes for the battery to get there. It's just like balancing water. You know, honestly, it's just going to start to go slower the closer they get. That's how voltage works and batteries. It's very interesting. But it does make sense. It does make sense. I keep moving over here. My mouse is over here. Thank you, BT. Gifting the memberships, $10. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. And it's Tuesday.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you, man. And this guy, OG as well. Mr. BT. I mean, once you get a kicker tattoo, there ain't no going back, man. You can't switch it up. Kicker for life. I mean, I think he would have been anyway. Andy, will my AGM battery be okay with an aftermarket alternator? And that's a very good question. With the aftermarket alternators, it depends where the voltage set point is. If they use the stock OEM voltage regulator kind of just, you know, daisy chained in, it'll usually charge around 14.4 to 14.8, depending on the alternator and your PCM and all that fun stuff. But unless they otherwise put it higher with an aftermarket, you know, what is it, the rectifier and regulator inside the alternator, you got self-exciting, all kinds of different stuff of options and adjustable set points that you can charge higher, and that's what a lot of guys do. Cookie Monster's got the high output alternator, but it's the stock regulator. You know, it still charges 14.4, 14.8, and that's why the lithium iron phosphate is good. And AGM as well. But again, you know, with the type of chemistries, you're not getting all that power until you get down to 13 volts anyway, but it's safe to charge around 14.4 and higher. Honestly, the more you learn about batteries, it's not the safest to charge above 14, but is it okay for what we do? Sure, absolutely. We're not completely draining batteries. We're just bumping down the street, pulling a little bit out at a time, topping them off, and you actually get more cycles out of a battery by doing that rather than complete discharge. So sorry, solar guys, your batteries aren't going to last as long, given the right situation. But absolutely, man, long as you talk to your alternator guy, they will help you out and know what, tell them, hey, this is the battery system I'm going to be running when you get the alternator. You can always change it, but still, absolutely, talk to them. Thank you, Bobby B. Appreciate you, sir. Green team for the win. Sending more guys for the green team. Thank you, BT. I appreciate that. Thank you, Stuart, for tuning in. You are awesome as well. Most RC car chargers charge lithium polymer, lithium ion, lithium phosphate, lithium, I don't know what H, nickel, oh man, NIMH. Those are the ones that have the, did you ever hear the saying like, oh, you got to charge your phone, you can't charge it at 25%, because those ones had memory. I remember them days. NICD and PB, well, PB's lead, and you know, man, I feel like it is. Any charger, like this one is kind of the charger that you can, well, let's see, shoot, 3, 2, 2. We want 2. This one, if it's like an RC charger, I'm not too familiar on those in particular, but chargers in general, if you can set the voltage, you'll be good for whatever you're trying to do, and especially with all those different chemistries, it's okay. But again, with like, you know, just stressing the cells, being particular, you gotta be careful. But whenever you're even building your own lithium bank, you want one of these guys here so that you can charge individual cells. If you use something that can't go down to 3 volts or 4 volts, then you're kind of short out of luck. You know what I'm saying? So that's where those come in handy. I don't know if the RC chargers are going down that route. It's been a while, man. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at them. Thanks for tuning in, though. I appreciate you. Oh, yep, see, low amperage and voltage is adjustable. Low is 14.8. Nice. Okay. 4 series, 4. Okay, 14.8, 5. Okay, nice. Absolutely, Jimmy. LLwA, thanks for tuning in, man. Let me know if I'm too hot. I'm trying not to scream, but we got all the fancy stuff on this one. I'm trying. What is the issue with charging lithium iron phosphate in freezing weather? I've heard it can be bad. That comes down to just cell chemistry. Every battery is not going to want to be in colder climates. It depends on chemistry to the degree, but most batteries like to be ran at like 80 to 100 degrees. Yeah, a little hot. And alternators are the opposite. You know, they like to operate a little bit colder, and that's why it's like kind of like that equal balance, right? So whenever you start going way high or way low, it's just like, think about it whenever, you know, you're really cold and you go outside and you can't move your hands, like your hands are slowed down and flexibility's reduced. That's the same thing that happens with the battery inside with the chemistry, with just everything passing through the carbon or whatever's inside and coming through. And that's why AGMs are they're worse in the winter compared to lead acid, because of the absorbed glass mat, compared to just the platelets and or whatever, you know, just not the platelets, but you know what I'm saying, the lead acid, just chemistry and how that is, it does better in cold. Now lithium iron phosphate, it's not terrible in the cold, but it's not as good as LTO. LTO is very good in the cold, surprisingly, but it's not the most energy dense. And they got weird voltage ranges too, and that's why you see people run 6S and you got to be at 16 volts, 15 volts. And, you know, honestly, out of these sodium batteries here too, you got to get the same thing. To get all the capacity is to run these guys. Here, I'll move this up here because I'm going to have these up here eventually. Is to have these guys. Nope, there we go. Come on, Ernie, over here. If you take a look at these, sorry, I've tested this salt battery. I've had this for like 2.5 years. This thing is awesome. The JY Salt MD20. And whenever, you know, man, you're charging it up to 16 volts, that's when you get the 20 amp hours. Well, if you're charging at 14.4, 14.8 with your stock charging, you're not going to get that. You're going to get 12, maybe 15 amp hours of capacity. So you have to take that in consideration whenever you are running your system. You know, I wanted this to be about chargers, but I mean batteries too, man. I know you guys have questions because today and age, it's so easy to get big amplifiers. Well, now we need the power to power those amplifiers as well. And now we got them, and there's so many choices, and I'm going to try to help you guys narrow that down as always, man. Appreciate you, LLwA, and yeah, it's not that bad, but that's why you see with, you know, even Teslas or any electric car, they usually have warmers inside the battery. It's just because you're going to put stress on it. Whenever, I think there would be the internal resistance would raise some, since the temperature is colder, and that might make things worse. I'm not 100% sure on that. That would be something to ask Siri or Google. Well, maybe just Google it. Don't ask Siri. Okay, RC cars, 5 milliamps. We're talking amp hours, no milliamp hours here. We need lots of those then. Thanks for tuning in, Kyle. All lithium-based chemistries charge slower when it's really cold. You'll want to lower the charge current. Once the battery warms up a little bit, then it'll take full current, and I think that has to do with the internal resistance. But exactly. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you for tuning in. That is a fast charger, and be careful. That's the thing I want to talk about too, is if you have a charger that isn't like this guy over here, this, you can literally adjust the amount of current. Let me zoom in on here. This thing's very nice, and it's my favorite, and you always need these. Sorry, I'm just, excuse me, all over the place here. If you got something and it doesn't have this, and it's like this. This guy right here, oh man, I'm backwards. I'm backwards. I'm used to sitting over there. This guy right here will give you everything you ask for. You tell it the voltage you want it at, it's just going to give you full tilt boogie. There's no regulation. Now this right here, you can set it at certain current amount. This one is a 30 amp. This thing is huge. You don't need all that, but trust me, whenever you start doing this stuff a lot, you want the bigger one. I got this link in description, but I got the smaller one in there as well, and it's like $60, $70. This one right here cost me $200, but that 30 amps is a big difference compared to 10. Just for, you know, everything that I'm charging with. So you have to be careful when you're doing that, because if you hook it up to something, especially lithium, whenever you see people talking about their alternator frying because they went to lithium, well, lithium has such a low resistance inside. Whenever you apply any amount of power and current, it can accept it rather than a battery's resistance being too high, and just, you know, math law of how power is distributed, Hoffman's iron law with resistance and stuff. So it's not going to pull on the alternator as hard as a lithium would. So it's the same problem too whenever you might overcharge the lithium too fast with your alternator. Alternator is kind of like a power supply, aka charger. It really is. If you let your car sit long enough and you got lithium iron phosphate, you never really need one of these. But say, you know, you get it down to 8 volts, you leave the lights on overnight, you might need one of these. And this could work for lithium iron phosphate, even though it says AGM, just because the resting voltages are close, but don't leave it sit on the car like an AGM or lead acid, with just, you know, being entirely topped off all the time, constantly charging. It doesn't need that. AGMs do, and lead acids. All right, let's see. Mike Craner, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, sir. Hope you've been well. I haven't seen you in a while, man. I feel bad, like you guys can't see my face. I'm sweating, my eyes are watering, but I'm getting a little bit better. You know, just, man, you gotta love it. Lithium Bear with AGM creates backfeeding under heavy discharge. Ohm's law takes hold and you start tanking more than you should. I always advocate battery deletes. You know, and everything between just voltage differences with the AGM and lithium iron phosphate, you know, or any LTO or lithium battery, you know, you're going to have that problem with just where it's sitting, resting voltages, where it's sitting. So whenever you're talking about, you know, more voltage drop than you should, just because of heavy discharge, I mean, I think that's true to a point, but it really does depend how you have all your power wires, grounds, and where the power is feeding through. If you got the lithium just connected to the alternator, I think that's less likely compared to maybe to the AGM and then to the lithium, where that could just be a pretty much a bottleneck, and I think that's might be where you see a little bit more voltage drop. I'm not 100% sure on your testing, but either way, I would love to hear about it, and that's the cool thing about this. There's so much about batteries and car audio, and what better way to learn? What better way to learn? Let's see. NICD. Oh, NICD. I thought NIMH was the one with the memory. I ain't that old. Doesn't have memory. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for tuning in, Ashy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for hanging out. You guys are awesome. All right, let's do... Man, I feel like I'm going way too long into the description. Let's do the actual testing of this. Man, I actually bought the Kubler power supply in your link and thought, dang, I'll use this once, but nope, I find myself using the phone fast charger more than anything. Hey, man, They got the little 5-volt USB on the front. I don't even think this one's got it on this one, but either way, the last one, absolutely, dude. The 10 amp hour, or 10 amp charger, it's nice, man. It really is. Thank you so much, John Got Bass. This guy's learning about lithium, and he's learning it through this channel and other, but you know, he's been here. I appreciate you, man. Wrap AGM battery. Hey, it's okay, Mike. I'm happy that you're here, man. I am happy that you're here. I am happy. Having a set up the... Yeah, I know, with the sodium batteries are nuts that you can literally ship these with 0 volts and there's no cell degradation at all. And that's like a huge safety concern for other batteries. And that's totally eliminated with the sodium batteries. Now, they're not as good as lithium iron phosphate for energy density, or pretty much a lot of them, but it's new tech, and it's so much better for the environment. Not 100%. There's still, I think there's still carbon in there or something like that, or nickel, I forget. Yeah, something like that. Thanks for tuning in, TJ. Appreciate you. Hey, buddy. Hope you're doing well, man. Hey, I'm trying, Pirates. I'm trying. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I'm a little off. I mean, it's been a month since I did this, and this is a lot to unpack. But let's get to the actual charging. Instead of just talking about it, we got to look at it, but we got to, you know, do some stuff too. 25 is late. All right, cool. So I can see that. I can read these pretty good. All right, let's do some testing. If you're on Facebook, give it a share, please. All right, what do you guys want me to do first? AGM? I mean, we could do AGM. I think AGM is probably the best one to do first. But what I want to do is talk about this guy first. This regulated voltage thing. My best friend. You want to use these for lithium banks. And before you do it, Mike Craner fell suspect of it. He just kind of cranked it up like this. He cranked it all the way to 30 volts. Or whatever, you know, set it too high, and the other ones didn't have that. This has a preset where it is. A lot of the cheaper ones, you crank that voltage up, and because it can't, say if I have this here, right, we're at 10 amps, and that's taking all 10 amps, as you can see. And if I turn this voltage up, see, look, 16 volts. But look at that, 13.3. You couldn't tell on some of the cheaper ones, so then you would melt your battery, because that will keep climbing. It will keep climbing. And something with this one is nice, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, with the current, it's the same thing. You can limit that, and that's what's so cool about those. Seriously asking, CXA mono. You know, I'm going to make this, can I make this bigger? Yeah, I need to zoom out, sorry. There we go, so I can see more comments. Would you look at that? CXA mono block. Just scored a solo barrack. What's the best amp kit 4-gauge? I mean, I'm going to tell you, go Kicker, because the wire's great. It's expensive, but it's super flexible, and it's nice. I mean, there's other brands out there, NVX, and I mean, you can get welding wire if you're really doing that. But if you want the whole kit, man, I mean, those fuse just things, you know, holders and fuses for Kicker, they're nice. They really are. And that's what I have right here connected to this, because this is actually connected to the LTO bank downstairs. Listen to me. I knew we had T9. What about new car? CX. Okay. Just reading the comments, trying to catch up here, guys. All right, let's do this. Before we run out of time, by the way, don't forget to enter the giveaway. Let's pop this in here. Can I do it? There we go. That should work. Cool. You still got about 16, 17 more minutes to enter. All right, so I'm going to hook up this guy right here. This is my old OG. I need my remote. Sorry for breathing in there. This is my old OG Stanley. This thing's very nice. I'm going to put this in a way so you guys can see the readout. Now, this one's nice just because you can use it with a lot of things. It's simple. Most people, you know, use these kind of chargers. You buy them pretty much anywhere. Now, I'm at 13 volts. Well, you can't even see that. Can you see it now? Let's zoom in a little bit more. I'm at 13 volts right here. We're going to go with that, number 2. Now, if I turn this on, let's see if it charges it. Okay. 6 amps, 6.1 amps. And this is actually the voltage over here and here. That's all connected to the same thing. So it's kind of cool to just see that. Like, it is charging this LTO down here. And if you're running a 6S LTO, you know, like it's down here, if you're running something like that, then yes, it could charge it, but it's only going to charge it to 14.4. And I mean, if you're running, you know, just stock charging, that's fine. And it's going to do the same thing the alternator does. And it can come in a bind, but I wouldn't suggest it, just because, you know, most people that are running 6S LTO should be, you know, charging higher. So you're going to need the higher one. Now, let me disconnect this for a split second, and we will bring over, probably do this, huh? Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? I'm going to turn that off for just a split second. So we know that works for that. Now, the AGM, obviously, I would use this for this AGM sitting right over there. And it's going to charge that up to like your 13.3, let it rest a little bit, and then as soon as it starts to fall off again, it'll start charging. And that's perfect for that type of chemistry and, you know, just everything along those lines of lead acid PB and all that fun stuff. What is a good bypass? Bypass, I didn't catch that one. Joseph Keenan, thanks for tuning in. I mean, I wish John was here tonight. The JY Power Hybrid Cap, what's its max charge, and can it run with sodium or other chemistries? What's the lithium in the hybrid cap? You know, that's a good question. I asked Travis a few questions before I came on tonight, yesterday or day before. He didn't get back to me right away. But these are super cool. Let's see if I can get a zoom in on these. And I'm going to answer one of these questions at least. On here, it shows that the operating range is 8 volts to 16.8. I don't know if you can see that too well. 16.8. So that's pretty high. And with these being, as they are, being able to be ran at, you know, 16.8, 16 volts, then they pair perfectly with your sodium, because these are up to 16 volts. These are 3 volt cells. Most sodium's 3 to 3.1 volts, and operating range, well, 2 to 4, but they can be ran down to 0, but their operating range is 2 to 4. Now, with your question with or what kind of, what was it? What's a lithium type? Yeah, it's an is it ELD, ECL? Should remember. I know someone in the comments here would remember. But it's a hybrid. Man, that's a good question. I don't think... What is the lithium cathode? I'm trying to remember what these are, because it's not going to say on here. I know that. But these are just meant for 800 watts each. You know, this is a nice little actual capacitor to put in your car with the right amount of power. And we've talked about that, of capacitors and what they really do. You need as much power as you have to have the capacitor do its job. Otherwise, it doesn't have much capacity. But right, the max charge 16.8. Yeah, you can run it with sodium. You can run that with C-Max. You can run that with anything. And that's the cool thing with those, is they act like the capacitor. I got one of these UC31s boys sitting here too. You know, do you need a charger for this? Do you think you need a charger for that? I mean, we can hook it up and see what it does. You know, this is no hybrid. This is just capacitor. Where's it at? Aha, there it is. All right. Got this hooked up here. We'll zoom in over here. Can you see that guy? That's the only thing with all these lights and all these screens. There's so much going on. Negative. No, it's saying that nothing's connected. And that's just a smart charger. Some of these other ones, they will charge it and stuff. You got to be careful. because it's not really a battery. It's not. You'll get a big spark too. But either way, figured we'd try it. Do you need that? No. It's not a battery. It's not a battery. Let's see. I would want you to do my install. Thank you, Bew. I appreciate you, man. Not my favorite thing to do, but I know a thing or two about installs. Appreciate you. Keep the factory, Sony. Gas is a must. Or is that Juicebox Johnny? I think that's Juicebox Johnny. Juicebox Johnny. Any fire extinguisher in the house? Absolutely. From yours truly, Cornet. It's packed away here somewhere, but if it's things are catching on fire, maybe we'll get it in time. Appreciate you guys. How about pairing them with AGM? I mean, that's the thing with that wide operating range. You're gonna be able to match the JYNXTs or sodiums with other chemistries. But just like how I was explaining, if you're not charging the sodium all the way up or any kind of battery, you're getting less discharge, and each chemistry has a different discharge curve. Some are straight, some are, a little dip, and then they're straight, and then a dip, and some are just, just straight down, or, like with AGM and stuff like that, where the voltage just isn't steady. Lithium iron phosphate's tighter window, that's more of a flat thing, so that's why those are a little bit more iffy, because if you start to pull those down, you don't notice it as fast, because the window's very small on lithium iron phosphate. So that's why you don't want to mix and match with those too often, just because they're more susceptible to problems with that. But with the sodium or the JYNXTs, with that wide range, you're not going to run into that red zone with just resting voltages or too much parasitic draw. Thank you so much, man. All right, Dan Current, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you, sir. And my lighting is terrible over here. And it's this light, I had this all fixed, and it came down when I left, and I didn't fix it when I came back, so we're a little on the clipping side with the light. Thanks for tuning in, Dan. I appreciate you, sir. All right, now let's actually do some things now. All right, so we know about this guy right here. I'm probably just gonna, well, we can look at it, but, we're done with that one. All right, so this is cool so that you could use this for any battery, and I've talked about it, so it's pretty self-explanatory. And again, whenever you're setting this and connecting these, you set the voltage. Make sure it's the one that you can set the voltage before it starts going. Otherwise, you're going to start running into battery issues. Let's set this guy up to 16 volts. I mean, that's pretty high. And then we can crank this all the way up to 31. And you'll see, again, we're still not at 16 volts, but we're dumping 31 amps into those LTO cells that are down there. And that's one thing you have to be wary of. If you got, just certain batteries, you don't want to overcharge them with your charger too fast or your alternator. It goes hand in hand, like I said. But this is very nice, and I like how you can just preset it so you don't run into any problems and you're good to go. But again, with the AGM, you can't let it sit on there too long. Or with the AGM, you can. With the lithium, as soon as it's charged, take it off the charger, use it. If you're not using a lithium battery of pretty much every type, and it's just going to sit for like 3 months, 2-3 months, discharge it down to about 60%. Rather than letting it sit at full tilt boogie. So that would be 16 volts for the sodium, 16.8 with the JYNXT, which I don't think anyone's going to do. But with like CMAX and stuff, all up into the 16 range, and you let your car sit for a while, that's actually really hard on those type of batteries. So if you know you're going to let it sit, don't fully charge it. But with AGM lead acid, fully charge it and keep it on a trickle charge, just for AGM and lead acid. But again, even that can have its, pros and cons, but to be safe, just throw it on there. You don't want to walk out there one day and it's like down to 12.2. You're like, man, my AGM, my $300 AGM is destroyed because I forgot it and it got a little cold out. Travis, don't get, I know, well, he does, it depends. He's doing a lot of stuff. All right, cool. It's Bo. Appreciate you. Dubby, thank you for tuning in, man. Andy's, if your car sits there for long periods of time, how long would you expect a normal lead acid to drown to about 11 volts? Also, how can you test parasitic draw when cars are off? That's a good question. I don't know about parasitic draw. I know there's ways that you can, but I've never actually done it. And it's not as common as you think with parasitic draw. If you got parasitic draw, you got a wiring issue. Something's grounding out somewhere, you got an issue. But for it to drop down to 11 volts, that's completely discharged pretty much with any lead acid AGM battery. What you're asking about is lead acid. That's pretty dead. So you got something that's, you know, pulling some current. And it could be parasitic, but usually parasitic is like millivolts, you know, or milliamps. It's like barely anything. So it would probably take weeks to get down to there. But hey, anything's possible with a battery that's old, and that's why you might need the charger. That's why you might need the charger and keep that on and keep that old battery going a little bit longer. And yeah, hey, and with the whole battery recondition on these chargers, in my opinion, it's a bunch of malarkey. It's a bunch of malarkey. The only way I've ever brought back a battery, it still had damage, you could tell, but I used it with this, not this. This did not work. It just honestly hurt it more than anything. This, I would crank up the voltage, kind of cook it a little bit, you know what I mean? Get them cells going again inside, and wow, we're at 13 volts. That's great. That thing was at 0. That's great. And it held for a couple of days. It was okay. But you know, don't buy them for the battery restoration. It's just, I'm sure there's a case that it works. Maybe with a more healthier battery, but if it's something low voltage and it's just done, these will have safety, you know, stuff in there so that it doesn't charge when the voltage is too low. Just so, you know, because that's not safe to do that. What I was doing with that battery, cooking it, batteries all can explode. I don't care what chemistry you got. So be careful with your charger when you do all this stuff. You gotta be. All right, yeah. For parasitic draw, you set up your meter and close the doors. Wait 30 minutes so all modules go to sleep. Normal draw is around 2 to 10 milliamps. So if it's above the 10 milliamps, then you know you got a problem. Now, I wonder if I'm sure you could use the right type of smaller clamp meter, annumeter, whatever you want to call it, to test for the low current. Everything I got is this. It's not testing, you know, milliamps. But like I said, yeah, like Jason was saying here, yeah, there's ways to test it. So thank you, Jason. I appreciate you, man. You guys are awesome. We're gonna keep the show going a little bit. Got some more people tuning in. All right, so this battery has been charging a nice size, nice safe 5 amps, which is great. And another thing this is good for is, let me disconnect this. I'm going to turn the current down. I'm going to turn the voltage down. That's what's great about these here. And I'm going to disconnect this. Now, say you got one of these. Ugh, excuse me. Say you got one of these, and this is a Planano 24 amp hour LTO cell, and you're building your own bank. That's where this one right here truly shines. You don't want to hook this up to this guy over here. You don't want to hook it up to this guy over here. Sodium batteries, building your own, you know, lithium iron phosphate battery, anything. This is where that comes in handy, because then you can charge these individually to get, you know, a true balance before you put them in series and hook up your balancer. I seen a guy on Facebook today's balancer melted. It's like, well, did you balance it before? You want to do that, and that kind of just keeps things happy. But then all you do with this, we'll plug this in here, is you're just going to connect your negative and positive. 2.4 volts, and these are 2.3 volt cells. And as soon as I put a little bit of current in there, that'll start charging. And you want to have it set at the exact point of what you want to do. Yeah, 4 volts is a little high, and this you can just go right through and get to like each individual number that you want, which is great. And we'll go to about 2.8 is the max on the LTO cells. And see, it's only charging 1 amp, but let's see if it'll charge any more. Can we charge more? Excuse me. Yeah, see, it's taking all 11 amps. That's why this is better than a 10 amp charger. Let's see if it can take more. I'm just going to crank it all the way up, see what it acts or requires for. 18 amps. See, this is why this is better than the 10 amp. It'll take about twice as long. This thing is dumping 18 amps, 51 watts, but only at 2.8 volts into this one cell, and you have that set, and then you do that for every cell that you got, and then you put it back, then you put it together. And there's other ways to do stuff too, is you know, just connecting them all in parallel, all in negative, but I do this ahead of time, just because I know it's all together, and then I put them all together in parallel, let them sit overnight. They're good. They're done. They're balanced. Then I put them in series, put the balancer on, ta-da, ta-da, done. That's still taking 17 amps, and that's the thing. This battery can take, you know, like 30C burst, 10C, so it's not even hitting 1C, which is 24 amps at 3 volts. So that charger is really perfect for that, and then you can hook up a bunch of those, and it will charge them all pretty fast. Pretty fast. Too bad Dirty Bass didn't do that first. Let's see. After charge, it will sit at 12.6 to 12.8. Check in the morning about 12.2, 12.3. That's very bad. That's a I wouldn't call that a parasitic draw. It could be a bad battery. Lead acid, I mean, honestly, when they're pretty weak, they sit down to like 12.5, 12.4. That's like 40% state of charge left, like done. You want to stay at like 75 and above. But either way, it could be just a bad battery, and you're seeing float voltage at 12.6, 12.8, and then it's just floating down there. That's where it's at. What I would do is maybe give it a good charge, or just let your car sit there for like 2 hours. These are a little bit more efficient than running your car. Gas is expensive. And keep it on there for, you know, a good while. Make sure that voltage is stout. And then maybe disconnect the ground on there so that you're not really getting any parasitic draw to the battery. And check it in the morning. And if it's still doing the same thing, battery's bad. If it's not, then you got a parasitic draw or some kind of, you know, load that's being pulled constantly, which that's draw. So hopefully that helps, W. Let me know. Cool, never thought of that. Ashy, thank you, sir. Is passive radiator worth it? Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. All these amphitheaters over here. Let me see. I think I don't know if we can zoom in. I don't know if the camera goes that far that way. Does it? Oh, yeah. Passive radiators for the win. They are definitely worth it. They got brand new ones for Kicker, you know, like the actual boxes for subwoofers and cars. But those are cool. Those got them, and get a lot of bass, small space, and doesn't have to be ported. So that's the pros and nos. Appreciate you for tuning in, all you guys, and contest is technically over. Norman Jones, thank you for tuning in. Hey, I finally showed up. Hey, I appreciate you. Oh, look at that. He's a member too. Would you look at that? Thank you, sir. I need a good bench charger like that one in the middle. I have a lithium 10 amp charger. Yes. I had the 10. I broke 2. One, I did something. I forget what I did. What was it? I burnt it. I put that thing through heck. And the second one I got, I had for 3 months, and I dropped it. I dropped it. I was so mad. I'm like, you know what, Kayla? I'm done wasting money. I'm getting the one I really want. The best type, and look at this thing still going, and just to charge this little battery, that 30 amps above the 10 amp is a difference. It's just going to charge so much faster. It truly is, and it's great for all these guys running lithium banks. And you could do one, you could do them all. You can even charge your moped. You know what I mean? They got a little bit of flexibility. Membership, you say? Time to flex? Would you look at that? Bubba is flexing. Thank you, Bubba, for being part of the green team and just always being here, sir. You are an awesome individual, and love you, buddy. Look at Sean, too. He's flexing. Now they're all flexing. All flexing. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you guys, man. Would you look at that? All right. Okay, cool. Garrick. Thank you, Garrick. Appreciate you for tuning in. This is a great show tonight. I'm learning stuff I had no idea of, and that's the thing. I feel like I could just sit here on like a 24-hour infomercial waiting for the right guy to come in to answer their questions about these chargers and, you know, their individual situation, because each one makes a difference. We're going to keep it to 90 minutes-ish tonight, but we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm going to disconnect this guy here. And what I would do is, you know, make sure you turn this stuff down. Just in case. Just in case. And whenever you are connecting these, too, I will actually show you this too. This is a pretty cool tool and it costs barely anything. Sherco Batteries has this little gizmo guy here. You would connect this to any kind of battery, any kind of source so you don't get a spark. You would connect this to your battery, connect this to here. So if there's any kind of potential difference, it'll just go into the resistor that's inside here. And then you would connect here and it's obviously not going to spark inside of this power supply, but they can. They absolutely can, and that's what that is there for, so you don't get that little bit of spark. But you know what? I like the spark. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. All right, let's see. I'm going to move this out of the way. I wanted to talk about that because that's pretty interesting. I don't know. I think that's a cool thing, and, you know, yeah, you just got to look at it. All right, so we went over this one pretty well. Now, let's look at this guy, the big boost. I'm going to move this LTO cell down here. Reason why I have that extra one, whenever I was first putting, that was my first LTO bank I put together, and those bus bars down there didn't come with the screws. I went to Busy Beaver and I got a screw and it was a little bit too deep. Well, I didn't notice that, and I'm literally moving this thing back and forth, repositioning the cells, and those screws were like halfway in. It was just digging the top of the LTO cell, and it totally just kind of like exploded a little bit. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. Yep. Yeah, that's a hole. I don't know if that's going to focus on there too well. I have the autofocus off, but you can see this right here is not supposed to be there. Leaked out, and it's still good. It probably lost a little bit of capacity, but LTO for the win, man. And I just put 18 amps to each, well, you know, one cell. That's pretty cool. Either way, let's scroll down here, and I'm going to talk about this last one here, the Big Kahuna. Just gotta look at it, Sean. You just gotta look at it. I hate it when Beaver busy. Beaver is busy. Busy Beaver. Man, if you know, you know. Appreciate you. Is there a way to post pics on the live stream? I wish, but you can actually do this. If you go to livinloudwithandy.com, the YouTube channel name, /upload, you can upload it to me, and I will actually go over here and I will get my phone here, and if you send it to me, I'll take a look at it and kind of go from there. It'll be a little upload thing, and you can just send it right to there. Drops it to my Dropbox. It drops it to my Dropbox. livinloudwithandy.com /upload, or just go to livinloudwithandy.com. It's right there. You see upload pictures. Sends it right to me and I can take a look at it. Thank you, Bad AZ Customs. Where you been at, G? Get Some. Wait, Get Some is on here. Thank you for tuning in. Get Some, haven't seen you in a while. How have you been, sir? And he's trying to become a Sparky. I like Sparks, though. I do. You know, my friend Nate Brink, the guy that gave me the Solo X18, tagged me in Sparky's video. You know, woodchuck up. Yeah, it was great. I was like, oh yeah, you gotta come to Slam, man, and take a look at this stuff. It's great. All right, so this charger over here now. Come on. There we go. This guy here. And I have this connected to the LTO bank that was down there that we started the charge. And this one, I think, yes, you can adjust it on the side here, but you need the smallest screwdriver. And I think I have it set at like 14.8. And honestly, this is a 100 amp power supply, but with it being with only, I think this is like 6 gauge jumper cables, I don't get the full amount of current, but we could take a look at it here. And this clamp meter, I need to have this in my description, man. Literally Bluetooth clamp meter. It's cool. All right, so what we're gonna do is actually, you can go like this, right? Can you see that, or is it going to be dumb? Let's see. That. Zoom in. You can't see that, huh? Aw, no. Really? Is it the screen? There we go. Look at that. 2 point... Yeah, maybe this way. I didn't even think I was going to do the screen. There we go. 2.3 amps. I'm going to turn this guy on, and let's see what this thing dumps at. And this one does... How did I lose that already? This is me in my studio, just practicing. We're not live. We're not live. We're just practicing. You plug it in. There's no switch on this guy. And as you can see, it's only dumping 20 amps. So, you know, if you had the other one, is it really a big necessity when the voltage is okay and you're only at a certain set point? Even though it's a 100 amp charger. It doesn't mean you're going to get 100 amps all the time. You would have to set this thing up really high. See, we can do that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to crank this guy up for you guys. You guys have been loyal, hanging out with me this entire show. Best part of turning that thing on is just looking at it. That's all you can do, man. I think I got the screwdriver for this. Sure. And this one here, I don't know if you can see too well. This is the voltage regulator, 3-stage or fixed output. And it's a little switch. I wish they would just put something on here, like, you know, how hard was that? But okay, not for normal users. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this up. There we go. And now we're getting 26 amps. 33. Now, I think the most I've gotten out of this one was only about 50 because of the jumper cables. No, there's 60. See, we're already up to 16.5. And 61 amps. So we're still not getting all 100 amps. And that's probably due to like the resistance of the jumper cables too, but it's still, you know, yeah, that's maxed out right there. 61 amps. But that's because of the jumper cables resistance. And that's why that's very important as well with everything that you're doing. And the problem with this now is I'm going to run into the same issue of like how Mike blew his up at one time. This doesn't show me. Now, I have to literally disconnect this thing. Okay. Now I can look at it and set the regulator this way. Because now there's no battery connected. See how that's like that now? That's actually setting the voltage without a battery connected. Because if you have it connected and it can't dump all the current, because that was set up to 16.5, I guess it was doing it, but still. Look, there's no current going through. 2 amps is just the idle of just the clamp needs adjusted. But either way, now we're set at like 16.5 and you can dump it on there and now you know where you're set. That's a little high for LTO. I wouldn't do that. I mean, you can, but I'd say like 15.8, 16, no more than that, depending on the LTO. I mean, these are 2-3 cells, so not as high. But you get what I'm saying. I'm going to disconnect this so I don't accidentally spark something because everything is metal in here. Sparky, sparky. There we go. Dropbox. Got it. See new files. Let's take a look at them. Would you look at that? Why is this telling... Oh, it's because I need... Where's... I just got to go to the email. There we go. Dropbox. I appreciate you guys, man. And he's going for Boss Audio ratings. Yes. And I can actually connect my screen to this too. But we're just going to take a look at it first. Oh, wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. Oh, I got to jump on here. We need... Come on, turn on. There we go. iShare. There we go. When you're charging a battery, the higher the voltage difference, the more amperage you're going to get. The amperage will go down as the voltage gets smaller. Fun fact. Absolutely, Jason. I was talking about that a little bit earlier, and that's just like... almost like fluid dynamics, but it's different, but it's just for power. But they kind of do work hand in hand. They truly do. But right, everything balances out. The closer it gets balanced out, the slower that transfer is, the closer they get together. And hey, it's pretty cool how that stuff works, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Now, all right, I'm connected here. Now I need to go to here, but I don't know if that's going to work with that without me saving. I'm going to have to save it. So bear with me, guys. I do want to share this video or this picture. I appreciate you for sending that. I'm going to pull that up, throw this over there, and whenever we move over, which I will in a second, but I got it loaded. It's good to go. Now, do you guys want to see any other battery? Because we got the JY NXTs, because mostly we did LTO, which is my favorite. We can do the JY NXTs. and not keep you guys too much longer. I mean, it's been an hour and 15 minutes, but I'm having fun, and this is a deep subject, and I miss you guys. It's been a while. Appreciate you. I sent a pic of me repping. Oh, that's you, Sean. That's you. You know, I guess we could do it like this, huh? I don't know if this camera's not good at focusing. It's not as good. You can't look at it good enough. We gotta wait, Sean. We gotta wait. I got you, though. I can see it. I can see it. I want to see some Sparkies. Aww. I sent you a picture of my quad box. Okay, see, I got both of them. Okay, so that's you, Bad. I was going to say, I was like, when did Sean get that quad box? That quad box is not a normal quad box. Appreciate you sending that. I will pull them up as soon as I get over there. Let's do this. Okay, that's still connected there. Now, can you use this charger here on the JYNXTs? Sure. Sure. Let's try it. The normal Walmart car charger, can you use it on a JYNXT? What are we sitting at? 12.4 volts. Yep. Taking 14 amps. 12 amps. 11, 12. I mean, it works. And it will charge this battery up to, well, 14.4 volts. It'll just kind of keep going and stay there. That's the highest it's going to, the set point is, and that's where it's going to stay. Whenever you charge an AGM, like this guy over here, well, you can't see me, but when you charge the AGM, it'll charge up to that 14.4, but then it's going to drop because that's not the actual voltage range of that cell. It's very low. But hey, we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. But yeah, you can see you could use this technically. And if you got the stock charging system, I mean, it's going to be doing the same thing in your car. And that's really what these are geared for. Also, is stock charging systems to just help out with your electrical needs of whatever you're doing. And they're not a big, you know, LTO bank or anything, but they will supply a lot of power for how small they are. Like these cells are like 18650 size, you know, like yeah, they've been through it, but they definitely work. And the same thing's going to be for the sodium too. Let me scroll out here. The Sony Explode. Drew is a big bass guy. Absolutely. Dude's been helpful. Weird, I'm the only one with the Sony Explode. I know, man. Solo X Explode. I was like, wait a minute. Yes. Yep. He's got the prototype, I believe so. And that's on a good day. That's on a good day. All right. Now, I want to do this one again. This one is great. This Power 100, but it's not like you've seen me struggling with the with setting the voltage and all that fun stuff. So, not really super ideal. It's more of like a permanent structure, or you know, really a permanent structure. Take it to Slamology, keep your car charged, or a amp dyno, or to keep things on a whatever the whole time. There's other chargers like these here that are at Walmart as well. Not sponsored by Walmart yet. And, you know, just very simple, 6 volt, 12 volt. And these work good too. And they work very similar to the Stanley. It's just automatic. And it'll keep you at around 13.5 volts, you know, kind of deal. So that works for lead acid AGM. And, I feel like at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you, go buy this one. Any type of these ones that you can set the voltage before you do anything, and then let it do its thing. I had one, the first one, it would just, I couldn't really do that up to, like you could do it, but you had to connect the leads and keep it under 1 amp. Not good. I may do, you know, I could tell, I'm like, voltage isn't where I want it to be, and it's not getting there. Why isn't it getting there? But oh, the current's maxed. So this one is nicer for that. It's not as quick, but it's a lot safer. So you're not melting your batteries and all that kind of fun stuff. Let's see. I've been hearing Drew's kicker wagon is stupid insane. Yes, the 6 L7X 12s. All right, cool. So now let me pull this guy up here. Let's charge these JY-NXTs. This is not a plug for JY-NXTs, but they are awesome for their size. Let's pull this up. Now, we're at 12.59 before we even did anything. Now, these charge really fast, and I'm just going to show that off. Let's do it. 31 amps, but we're already down to 3 volts where we set it last. It has a memory function, which is nice. Let's go up to 16.8, like we said. Let's see how fast these guys charge. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's taking all 31 amps. But the crazy thing is, these cells are only like, what, 2 or 4 amp hours? Yeah, 4 amp hours or 2 amp hours of the lead-acid equivalent. So you got 8 amp hours, and we're dumping 31 amps into it. Technically, it should be fully charged in, what, in 15, 12 minutes? No, not even. Let me think. 3 divided by 3 minutes. 3 minutes. But just watch how fast this charges. It's not much capacity, but that's the thing. I'm dumping 31 amps into it, and these things can dump about 60 amps continuous per. So the recharge is going to be half of that on most batteries. So this could take a 60 amp charge for 2 of them safely. And that's the thing that you want to not just put this in the back of your car and be like, oh, that's all I need. No, you do need a battery back there too, or you're going to stress that thing out. I mean, your alternator is the key. If you don't have a strong enough alternator and then it's just relying on that, that's when you're going to run into problems. It's to help with buffering the voltage of what your alternator can't do, and this thing can discharge and recharge very quickly. It's very small. That's the point. It's like a capacitor. That's the point. But yeah, it's really cool just how small it is, how fast they charge. I don't know if you know, an AGM is going to do something equivalent. Either way. Let's see. I keep hearing the sub from the Optimus says it's fine. All right, so we got that one charging. I'm going to let that go for another minute or two. I don't want to keep you guys here all night, but I'm probably going to keep you guys here all night. We're talking batteries. I got my chance. I'm doing it. I'm doing it in chargers and, you know, just what you need. Now, of course, you don't have to charge the 16.8 on this guy, but they get all 4 amp hours out of each one. Yeah, and that's the only drawback of maybe needing a charger that's like this, of running lithium that's higher voltage. You have to run higher and you're not going to get all the capacity out of it. Now, how do you fix that? Say, okay, well, I want to charge at 14.8, but I want 6S LTO, or I want, you know, whatever. More batteries. You just need twice the batteries, you know, and maybe that doesn't make sense and it would be easier to charge higher and cheaper in the long run. But then there's also all the factors of, can my amplifier run above 15.5? You know, the Warhorse amplifiers absolutely can. And especially in competition mode, a little bit higher than what the normal mode is. But these here are like 15.3, 15.5, you know, and a lot of amps, like kicker amps, are like 15.8. I think it's like at the highest. So most guys that are charging, you know, to get all the capacity out of their batteries are charging 15.8 and a little bit higher, like 16, 16.1, depending the type of system they're running. But still, you know, then you're going to run into problems with your stock electrical, you know, fry and stuff. 16 volts is high. It's not too high. Trust me, I run 30 volts and a 12 volt power wheel. I push it to the limit, but still things to note, you know, whenever you're doing this kind of stuff. It really is something to think about. See, that's still taking 31 amps, but we're almost charged. That thing was completely dead. Completely dead. Just hitting it with the amp dyno machine, battery dyno machine. This thing's awesome. It's fun. Truly is. SJC, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, sir. Hope you're doing well. SJC. How are they in the heat in Utah 103 last week? Any battery is not the best in high heat, but better than an alternator in heat, if that makes sense to you. It's kind of crazy. Now, it's the same thing if you go cold. Batteries aren't as good in the cold as maybe an alternator is. So they kind of have a little bit of different of a window. That's why, you know, in wintertime or like fall time, at least up here in Pennsylvania, it's like the best. You got that 70, 60 degree temperature, and it's like right in that area of just, you know, batteries, you know, they're warm, but they're not cold. They're not hot. And the alternator is cool, and it doesn't get hot right away. And so it works. Now, will these batteries be better than the next, like the JY-NXTs? It's not. I mean, they're hybrid, so I want to learn more about them. I'm not 100% familiar on them, but I know they're a hybrid, and they're more of a capacitor, a super capacitor, more than anything. But still, so I feel like they would probably, most likely, not have an issue compared to just batteries with high heat as a normal battery would, or low temperatures. Maybe not as bad, just because of what it is, you know. With just a regular ultra capacitor or hyper or super capacitor, it's fine. It's not a battery, and the temperature ranges are huge, you know. Like, it's just, that's why they have, you know, Super Bank 500s you put under the hood. Really safe. It's not a battery, and it's just all carbon inside there. There's no electrolytes, so it's just, it's better with high heat. It's better with high heat. Let's see. Don't forget, didn't forget you, bro. Contest is closed. Yes. Yes, and we will be picking the winner very soon here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Adrian, I got a 94 Accord waiting on an engine swap. Would you look at that? You know what? I like those ones. Those are like the hatchback ones. I like those ones. All right, cool. So, is this charged yet? Almost charged, but still. Now, if you have your car, it's going to charge a lot faster, but still, you know, you can see just what this can do for you. You know, charge your batteries, help you out, and it's very flexible. This one will work, but it's not going to be able to charge it fully of whatever chemistry you're running. And then this one over here is the big man in the section, but he's only good at one thing, you know, and that's power. And I use those all the time. Like I said, I got 3 of them. They're awesome. All the links in the description below for all 3 of these guys. And, you know, get them wherever you want. But a charger is kind of necessary for your car. Just everyday person, you know, your battery dies, like Dubby's having issues. You might need a charger. Your alternator can't charge, you know, it charges when it's running, but it can't charge it just sitting there. So what kind do you need? Man, they all have their pros and cons of each, and they're all pretty much around the same price, other than the average, you know, AGM lead acid charger. It's here. We do have the salt here. We do have the salt, but it's really similar to the JY-NXT. That JY-NXT is almost fully charged, and that's crazy, but it's so small, and that's 2 of them. It would have been charged by now if it was just 1. That's 2 of them put together. And that's why I'm like, you know, with just different batteries and capacity, high discharge. I mean, for how small that is, that's a lot of power. You know, together, you're good for like 1,500 watts, give or take. That's a lot of power for something that I can literally hold in the palm of my hand, compared to an AGM battery that's over here, you know, and it's 60 pounds, you know, and it's going to break my back trying to whatever, and it's bigger, and it can do about the same thing. So that is really cool, which is that type of chemistry. And let's see, what are we set at here anyway? 16.81, and we must be like right there, huh? Soon as we hit that 16.81, you'll see on here it says constant current. It'll go to constant voltage. Oh, would you look at that? It literally did it. Now we're at 16.8 volts. And, well, not almost there. You know, it's set there, and it's catching up. Before, it was just giving all the current it could. And that's the constant current. That's the limitation of the product, or wherever you have it set at. That's why those things are awesome. But either way, now it'll start dropping, and it'll take a little bit longer to get there. But either way, you can see we're pretty much there. Now, if we cut this off, we're going to get a little bit of float voltage here, but it's not at the 16.8. As you can tell, we're still at 15.7. So you have to be careful when you're doing that. You're not really there. You know, you have to let it charge. And that's the whole point of if you let your car sit there in the driveway, it might say 14.4, but your battery might not be charged. I'm in on that. Let's move over here. We got to look at the photos and get these winners going, man. All right, let's move over here. Let's see. Do I need anything over there? No. Okay, bear with me here. Much better. Can you hear me now? Okay, Bew is on Kicker Club. That is awesome. And Dan was on there. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, so now let me see if I got this connected still. I do. And I want to save this. Is it going to save? There we go. We're saved. Save. Cool, cool, cool. Now, let's see if there's anything else over here. We're good. So, should be 4 and 1. Do we got photos there? There we go. There's, I think it was, his name was Matt. It's not Sean's. But check out that quad box. I don't know if you consider that a quad box. That is a L7X just wall of boom. That is so cool. Love your work, man. Look at that. I like, you know, just you got the bass and you got the mids and highs to keep up with it. It's good to go. It's good to go. Thank you for sending me that. Again, if you want to send videos, photos, anything, livinloudhandy.com/upload. Appreciate you guys. And here's Sean. Appreciate you, Sean Lind, with the Bassaholic Drew's Designs t-shirt. Would you look at that? I love it, man. And cute family. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And that's why I love doing the show, man. You know, you get to meet real people. You get to meet real people. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you with a $5 super chat.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You gotta look at it this way, okay? You just gotta look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Thank you, Eric. Is that Bass I Love You? That'd be cool to have him on. Running dual battery setup. Run parallel wires from under hood to back or just positive wire and ground from body. Right. So, I mean, grounds in your car can work very well. Your chassis ground. Now, if you got a frame ground, you're going to have to connect to your frame because, you know, just how that works. But most cars nowadays are all unibodies and it's all uni chassis, whatever. And yes, there can be some spots in the car that might not be the best for a ground, or maybe it's not welded correctly. So I'm going to tell you this. If you want the best ground possible and you know how much current you're running, run a dedicated run front to back for positive and ground. Now, if you just want to run a simple setup, just ground in the back. Now, I'm talking, you know, if you want to help eliminate future problems of ground noise or any kind of additional voltage drop, then yes, an additional ground run going front to back alongside that power is going to be really good for your system. It's not going to be bad. It's going to be extra money. It's another run of wire, but it can help and will help your system. It really will. But yes, yeah, can you do it without it? No, yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've done it for years. This is the first year that I've run double runs for positive ground, and it works. It works. You know, I'm not pulling that much power, but still, I seen the difference. Just the slightest amount of difference. But, you know, doing a bunch of variables too, adding super bank under the hood instead of an AGM, mixing with lithium iron phosphate, you know the deal, and isolator, the whole nine, you know, so it's hard to compare just one for one, but I would, if you're going big, and I'm talking 2, 3, 4,000 watts and above, I would start thinking about it. Great point, Jason. I want to see Andy's answer. Where's Jason Dorolo? A steel frame can carry tons of current. If it was aluminum block, I'd say run along. I know, man. That's the thing. It's a giant piece of metal, you know, and that's where that ground loop noise comes from. It's just a giant piece of metal, and you got RCAs with low voltage going across that, and then it's just getting amplified, you know, through the system of just the ground potential difference from that giant ground, aka your chassis. That's why it's not bad. It's just where you're grounding, and if you're actually grounding to the main chassis, or you're grounding to just a welded piece of metal on the side, or wrapping wire around a freaking trunk latch, what have you, you know, you got to do it right when you're doing it. But absolutely, they work. They 100% work. Just, you know, they still can run into that ground noise though if you hook to the chassis, because you got a lot going through there. Higher chance of something passing through that than, you know, a wire that's got rubber around it. It definitely helps. Appreciate you guys. All right, cool. Let's do the giveaway. I am so far behind, but you know what? If you guys have any other questions, drop them down. I'm going to look at them while I'm doing all this. Appreciate you. Let's see. You know what? That's one thing I forgot to do was everything. I usually, you know, take down the older names so I can type in the new ones, and it's just bada bing, bada boom. But I will manage. And I still have to pull up the giveaway thing, but that thing is automatic. We got Ernie and, you know, Colin in the background there helping everything out. You know, no, it's all me. But you know what? I love doing this stuff. I miss doing it, and I appreciate that you guys are here, man. All right, cool. So now I need, there we go. Rigomatic 3000. Okay. Cool. There we go. Do not let 25 win. Okay. Got to read the fine print. You always got to read the fine print. Let's see. Nope. 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 All right. CM, you didn't miss the show, man. It was a long show, but it was good. It was good. It had a rough start, allergy attack. You know, God, that's Andy. That's Andy. Just dying. All right. Oh, man, you know what? Yep, there it is. Too many switches and buttons around here, but we manage. I appreciate you guys. I want to know how your week has been. Did you watch last week's Kicker show? Are you going to watch next week's? Let me know. I'm just kidding. I know most of you guys are. You guys are awesome. All right, let me pull this up so I can see over here. Take a look at it. Rigged. Fine print. Yes. I mean, no purchase necessary. It's not, we're you know, we're not Mr. Beast over here. You know, I mean, you can buy some swag, but man. Question, Andy's. Mike Craner is asking about the Optima yellow tops. He's losing voltage. The yellow tops are the reserve series of the AGM counterpart of the Optima brand. And with the voltage drop, I mean, could be a lot of things. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Cornstarch. Appreciate you. Donation for fixing the oh, I'll put that in. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Whoever that cornstarch is. I do see something here, but they say it's a Fred, not a caboose. I guess we can let that one go, huh? All right. Okay, I was missing that. There we go. Is that gonna... Yep, that. Cool. Yeah, with your question there, I mean... Oh. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's rigged. That's rigged. Let's do... I'm going to do one at a time so I can look at the comments, come back, add another name, look at the comments, come back. I like that. We're going to switch it up. All right, let's type in that name. All right, I know this guy, man. He is always sharing stuff. ST... Nope. I heard something beeping. Did you guys hear something beeping? Ah. Okay. What was that beeping? Was that the power supply? That sounded like the backup power supply. I hope it wasn't. We'll lose the whole stream if we do. I took the AGM. I usually run the AGM for the backup power supply in here. You know, 74 amp hours. It's enough. Just for this and this, you know, Wiz, fish tank over here, just, you know, hanging out, so he's okay. Hey, Wiz, where you at? Come say hi to the people.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? Yeah, no salt, right? No salt in the tank. Oh, you didn't talk about sodium that much?
Nah, yeah, no sodium.
Oh, no, too bad. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you.
Wow. I love Wiz. He's awesome, man. He really is. All right, now we got to go to next one. But yeah, with the losing of the voltage, I always hear people saying about, you know, the parasitic draw, but honestly, it could be just an older battery. Check connections 101, start from the front, go to the back, just isolate the possible cause and just look at it. You gotta look at it. You sound like Kyle's Jewish cousin. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. The rig button was beep. I told you not to tell anyone. Man, you think you could trust a guy, but it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. All right. Let's go to the next one. Pull this in here. Make sure. Okay. Cool. All right, we're going to type in. This one is. Man, I'm going to have to just type that in. For some reason, when you guys enter on Twitter, it's a little funky and your name doesn't come up or it just goes by your tag name, which isn't really. I guess that's a name. Yeah. We'll go with that. And that's for the second place. And again, with all the winners tonight, you will get an email from Kicker. I know sometimes they're a little behind. Some people ask me, hey, I didn't get an email from Kicker yet. I'd say 1 to 2 weeks, you should get an email. Or just, you know, the next day. Within 2 weeks, you should be getting an email to be like, hey, yep, that's me. I want my prize. I want my schmedium. Send it over. So even if you didn't see your name tonight, you just check your email. Just take a look at it. There we go. Let's see. This is, yep. I like this song now. We should crank it up. There we go. Okay, that's second. Now we need third. Keep popping. I feel like we need more bass boost in this. Just a little bit more. Okay. You know, they still slip in them bots, man. I think it's from 25's account. Could be someone else's, you know? Breach. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Let's take a look at it. Bingo! Oh, come on. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Appreciate you guys holding tight. I can't see. Oh, there's the comments. SJC's talking. El Fuego. Sorry, eyes are crossing there. RVH, rest in peace, man. I can't believe we raised all that money for RVH, man. I can't believe that. And I was talking to his wife and sister and stuff, and it's just thank you guys for doing that Friday. Thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. But I know how awesome you guys are, so thank you. Thank you. Okay, third. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I moved my entire setup here, and it's like funky when I'm typing. Not used to it. Usually like right there. It makes a difference. Let's see. There we go. And then we just need the 50% off winner. Rigged. These guys are going to be screaming rigged. I just know it. I mean, they do it anytime, and it's a fair drawing. No purchase necessary. And thank you, Kicker, for doing this stuff, making an even playing field for everybody. Even though they think it's rigged, it's not. It's not. But thank you guys for watching, being here, and I'll see you next time. Had to. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, man. All right, so third place goes to, well, what are you winning? Some of you already know. EV400s, Kicker Swag Pack with a Schmedium. Oh, there it is. Eric N. from Ontario. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, Eric. Congratulations. And you're going to like those EB400s, man. I'm telling you. You're going to like them. You're going to like them. Let's see. Second place comes with a Schmedium and a TW1 headphone set, the earbuds. Congratulations to DKMNY65. Yeah, I misspelled that. It's supposed to be East Hampton, Massachusetts. Congratulations. Thank you for tuning in. DKMNY65. Input. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. Let's do the next one. First place. There's two first places here, guys. Thank you, Kicker. 50% off discount code. But this one is the Bullfrog 100 with the Schmedium pack. You get everything. Man, I think it's awesome with the lanyards and the koozies and the cups. They mix it up sometimes, but they send you awesome stuff alongside the big grand prize of each prize. Goes to Simon S. Simon Staley. I'm just throwing it out there. This guy shares a lot of my stuff. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I'm glad you won. Congratulations. I'm glad all you guys won tonight. But wait, don't go anywhere. We got one more prize. We got one more prize. We got one more. Definitely rigged, David. Just a little bit. Did I? Oh, man, I thought I lost my remote. It's like, it's worse than losing the vape, I'm telling you. All right. First place of the grand prize with a 50% off discount code from anything at kicker.com goes to Dawn, not Cornut.
Pacific Northwest.
Congratulations. You got a 50% off discount code. You can't give it to Cornut. You just can't give it to him.
Cornut. He does traveling installs.
Don't give it to him. Don't let him take it. He will. He'll take it like he takes the caboose. Congratulations, Dawn. And thank you guys so much for watching. The Bullfrog 100 is awesome. Speaking of which, I got both of my buddies right here. I got the Bullfrog 100 and we got the Bullfrog 400. But you get the 100s. Man, I do miss the 400s. But you got to blame the chip shortage. The 100s are great and these fit in your cup holder. Well, it depends your cup holder. It always depends, especially like chargers. and everything that we talked about tonight. Now I feel good. My allergies are gone. Can we start the show now? I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. And yes, Cornut won. Cornut did win, and a few of the other guys did as well. But there's always next week. Tune in this Tuesday for Kicker Unmasked, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on the Kicker YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an excellent week. Tune in Friday. We're here live Friday. And thank you guys for all hanging out with me. And if you got any questions, drop them down in the comment section below after the video's over, and I'll see what I can do and help you out. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay living loud. I will see you guys on the next one. This was awesome. Love you guys. Bye.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
That means 100%, right, El Fuego? That means 100%. Congratulations, Cornut, and she is 100% awesome. I tried to have Kayla in her a few times, but she never won. But Cornut, he knows. He knows how to work it. I don't know what he does. He does something. But thank you guys so much, and stay living loud. Would you look at that? Starting to go down. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Livin Loud Swag.
Thank you, El Fuego. Shout out to Cornut. Looking forward to seeing you, Bubba and Brian, in a few weeks. And I forgot to roll up my music. I just can't. I need the music. I need the music. Oh, there we go. Oh, you guys know how I am with my music. I need it. Thank you so much, El Fuego. And Cornut with a $20 super chat. Are you kidding me? Cornut!
I don't care what you say about kickers. This guy is a difference maker.
Man, he just slides right in there. That's on Streamlabs. Thank you, guys. Cornut stole that one. He's like, oh, 50%. Thank you. See you guys. Stay living loud.